Day 3! Yay! Welcome back to another boiling edition of the 12 Days of Anime. 10 days till Christmas. Everybody ready? Everybody excited? Because, I'm half ready and I feel crazy for attempting this challenge. For day 3, I am doing something that I didn't think I would actually do, to be honest. If you looked on YouTube, I'm sure there's been enough recommendations of things to watch over Christmas. I decided to do a recommendation type of video, and this is courtesy of this little idea from Gero the Hero. Because I told him I was doing the 12 Days of Anime, and then he started putting ideas for me, so I'm like, okay, I'll change it up and I'll add this one in just for you, Gero. So I'm recommending about 6 shows, but they are from my 2 favorite genres of all time, which is romance and mecha. Now, these ones I have specifically picked. They all are very satisfying watches. They have satisfying endings. Probably one of the shows I'll talk about a bit when I get to it. I was half satisfied on, but most of it, there's a whole other reason I picked it for it being satisfying. So without further ado, some of these choices might be quite obvious, some of these will be, but honestly, I watch these, they're so satisfying, except the one I will mention, I'm gonna leave it till last, but let's kick it off with the romance, because during this time of year, I love to binge or read shoujo, romance, anything. Don't know how much time I'm gonna have for that. As of right now until Christmas, we shall see. First up is one that I'm so glad I got on Blu-ray last year, and then I got the second season this year, which is Snow White with the Red Hair. I'm sure many of you have heard of this title now, about following Shiryuki, who is a herbalist, and she ends up running away from her country town, which is Tamboran, because the Prince of Tamboran wants to make her his concubine. She runs away. She meets a prince of Clarinets known as Zen, Prince Zen, and seems like your typical fairy tale, but Shiryuki is no damsel in distress, and the people mostly love this show for the relationship between Shiryuki and Zen, because they're both people that really respect one another, they admire each other. It's just their building up of their foundation of their relationship that is just so mesmerizing to watch, and they are such more than likable characters. The English dub is fantastic. I love the English dub. Brinsa Palencia plays Shiryuki and Greg Ayers plays Zen. I love their performances. This show is cuteness overload. The first and the second season are both very good, and I just love this show so much. So seriously, if you're wanting something a bit more it's cute, but it's, it's got a very level of maturity between the cast of characters, and these 2 main characters, Shiryuki and Zen, they're both very headstrong. They're not your weak characters, but yeah, definitely you want to watch Snow White with the Red Hair, especially if you're not a person that likes romance stuff in general. This is probably a really good way for you to get into it, because it is not overly, it's not over the top. It keeps it real. It keeps it real. So Snow White with the Red Hair, definitely. Next up is my favorite romance anime currently of all time, which is Kimi ni Todaki, which is about Sawako, who is a bit of an introvert. She gets made fun of a lot because of her expressions on her face, and she resembles the character from The Ring, the movie, and yeah, she's not very good at communicating with people, and she's misjudged. That's when she meets Kazehaya, who's the most popular boy in school. He opens up her world, and through the course of the show, they both build a relationship together, and Sawako makes friends. She, experiences things she's never experienced before, and it is so bloody touching. This is like a teen romance, but there's a level of maturity there, especially with Sawako, and I just love the show to friggin' bits. Like, I just, you know, cannot stress that enough. I relate to Sawako in so many ways, and I'm currently collecting the manga for it. I've got up to volume 10 right now. There's like about 23 volumes, I think. This is a series I want to own. Like, I need more from this because the anime is really good, but you know, I just wanted more from Kazuhaya and Sawako's relationship, so that's why I diverted my attention to the manga. And yeah, Kimi no Todaki is a pretty well recommended romance these days it is, so definitely you will get a satisfaction out of that, I guarantee. Last romance anime I'll recommend to watch during Christmas time is one by Honeyworks. Now Honeyworks is known for doing a bunch of Vocaloid songs, but they came up with some anime adaptations. There's 3 of them, but my favorite out of all of them is the first one that came out, which is I've Always Liked You. It's a teen romance and it focuses on 6 characters who all both like one another, they do, and it just focuses on them getting to the point of becoming boyfriend and girlfriend. And it's really just plain old adorable. It's really satisfying. I was so satisfied when I watched it. Then I rewatched it again after it, and I just think it is a really fantastic watch. Definitely for Christmas. There's gonna be no one doesn't get with no one. It is so satisfying, especially for a teen romance drama. So definitely I Have Always Liked You, and the animation just made it even more enjoyable to watch. So yeah, definitely I Have Always Liked You. And there's 2 more which I did like, but I didn't find them half as satisfying as I've Always Liked You, hence why I recommended this one. And I realized that this bow in my hair makes me look like Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. I realized that. And we're moving on to the mecha, and these ones I picked because they have a good romance element to them, except the last one I mentioned that I'm going to talk about later on. First one I recommended in a recent video, which is one of my old rewatches, which is Aquarion Evol, which is from the Aquarion franchise. It focuses on a love from 12,000 years ago to do with Celion and Apollo. Apollo is known as a shadow angel, and Celion was a human. They both fall in love because Apollo goes against his own race and he helps the humans, and that's when the Aquarion, the name of it, is the name of the robot that's in the show. And this show is about love, and Aquarion Evol is the 2nd season because Apollo and Celion are reincarnated in 2 other individuals, which are Amato and Mikune, who are the main characters in Aquarion Evol, and it focuses on them, their reincarnated love. I described in it in my old rewatches video that it's very over the top, gives you Gurren Lagann vibes, but it's so silly. It's definitely a great series to get into, especially if you're not a fan of like mecha, but it's got the best combination of both. It's got romance and mecha. And it's really silly, especially getting in the mecha robots. It's like everyone's in ecstasy when they all become one, because only 3 pilots can pilot the mecha Aquarion, and you know, look, they're all naked, looks like they're in ecstasy. It's hilarious. But the love factor, there's definitely some nice love in this, and it is a really fulfilling show to watch. I love this series. It's one of my favorite mechas. So yeah, definitely check out Aquarion Evol. And the next one I'm going to recommend, this wouldn't be complete from me without a Gundam. Now, I had to choose one that had, you know, some good romance factor, because I haven't seen a lot of Gundam, still not yet. Even though recently I completed Mobile Gundam Unicorn, there's a lot, especially old ones that I need to watch, like Zeta and Gundam Build Fighters. Oh my god, a whole bunch. I picked Gundam Seed. Gundam Seed is definitely a satisfying one, especially I guess romance wise, but there's a very fantastic story. There's been no Gundam that has bored me, because Gundam always has fantastic stories. Gundam Seed focuses on Kira Yamato, who ends up getting dragged into the war between the Earth Alliance and Zaft, and or really between Earth people and the coordinators, because coordinators are hybrid humans who can do what not humans can do, and that's the main plot of the massive war, but then there's a focus on Kira and his friend Attribution, and there's a huge cast of characters in this. There is. And I feel it's one of the better Gundams to get into if you're not into Gundam. And, you know, there is some love in this, but, you know, this is war, and not all of it's happy, but at the same time, like, I love Lacus and Kira, I love Kagali and Athrun. There are some really cute moments in this, while at the same time as a Gundam, we're talking heavy. Gundam Seed is definitely one of the Gundams that has left me very satisfied, and I have wanted to rewatch, and I have. So, you know, if you're not a fan of, like, Gundam in general, you should definitely start off with Gundam Seed, if you feel like it. And we're getting to the last one, which is a bit of a up and down choice. It is, because I said it was only kind of like half satisfying, but I feel bad that I could not recommend it, because there are other reasons that I love this series, which is a series that I watched a really long time ago, but some of it's still fresh in my head. It is from the Macross franchise. I've not seen any other Macross except this one, which is Macross Frontier. Now, I love Macross. It's like a combination of romance, mecha, and singing and idols. Like, oh my god, it's like the greatest thing in the world to me. And Macross Frontier was having an interest in Macross franchise. It's an alien race that wants to invade, and the series really focuses on 3 individuals, which is idol singer Cheryl, pilot Alto, and the young aspiration singer, which is Ranka. The alien enemy is known as the Zentradi, but really the focus is on these 3 characters, Cheryl, Alto, and Ranka, and the circumstances of how they become involved in the war, and their stories. In this series, there is there's romance, there's a lot of singing, and that is one of the best things about this show, is the music. And it's one of the best things about Macross, the music and the singing. Like, it becoming involved, the idols singing while fighting, it is something really mesmerizing to watch. And Macross Frontier has some fantastic music. Like, oh my god, one of the Japanese idol singers I love is Mei In. She's got like a colon in the middle of her name that's Mei and N. She's done some songs in this, and I gotta brush up on Macross Frontier, to be honest. It's been ages since I've seen it. Seriously, this series is worth watching for the music and the singing, but also the focus on the main 3 characters, how they're involved in the war. And, you know, and I said that it's like half satisfying, but from what I saw when I first watched it, I was just so mesmerized by the story. And, you know, even though this love triangle, I cannot lie, it is a bit frustrating, but it's really cute at the same time. The singing in the battles is really satisfying to listen to, and you become addicted to the music, and it's still a great show of combination of mecha, romance, and singing. Cannot lie about the Macross franchise. So yeah, that is Macross Frontier, if you feel like giving it a go. That is my recommendations list for the romance and mecha genre. So I hope you at least enjoyed this Gero, and everybody else did, and feel free to leave a comment if you're gonna, what are you gonna watch during Christmas. I'm watching too much stuff, way too much, that I have planned, which I don't think I'm even gonna get half through. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, tomorrow it is day 4 of the 12 days of anime, and what clue can I give you guys for tomorrow? Let me look at my list. I just always get my list every time. Number 4 is I'll be talking about a certain place that us anime fans go to when we want to weeb out. So that is the clue for the day 4 of the 12 days of anime. Me and Lita will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.